All right, everybody, buckle up, because today we are diving headfirst into another exciting episode of Unbounce This.
That's right, you heard it here first, folks, where we dissect and analyze landing pages from all corners of the digital world.
And today we're turning our discerning eyes towards a platform that's practically a household name.
A true OG in the file sharing game WeTransfer.
Yep, WeTransfer, they've been around forever, right? Like back when dial-up was still a thing and floppy disks roamed
Mhm.
the earth.
They've helped countless souls navigate the treacherous waters of sending those monstrously large files that make your email weep with despair.
Seriously, though, remember those days? Trying to attach a 5 megabyte photo and watching the progress bar inch forward like a sloth on tranquilizers?
The pain was real, let me tell you.
Hmm.
But WeTransfer emerged as a shining beacon of hope in those dark times.
They made it ridiculously simple to zip your digital behemoths across the web without any of that technological heartbreak.
But here's the million-dollar question. In today's hyper-competitive digital landscape, where every other company seems to be offering file-sharing solutions, does WeTransfer's landing page still hold up?
Is it still the king of the hill? Or has it maybe become a little dated, a little stuck in the past?
That's what we're here to uncover today, folks. We've got a deep dive analysis of their landing page, hot off the digital presses,
And as always, we're bringing our signature saucy design approach to the table.
blending expert design insights with a healthy dose of lovingly sarcastic critique.
Because let's face it, sometimes you need a little tough love to make those digital dreams a reality.
So let's jump right in, shall we? First impressions matter, folks. What's the initial vibe you get when you land on WeTransfer's homepage?
I'm getting this sort of like cool designer studio meets Dropbox kind of feel.
Yeah, there's definitely a minimalist aesthetic at play here. Very clean, very sleek.
Lots of white space, bold colors, those artsy images that seem to rotate every time you refresh the page.
They're clearly going for a sophisticated look and feel, but does that translate into a seamless user experience that actually makes you want to use their service?
That's the big question, isn't it? It's like
Mhm.
they're saying, hey, we're super cool and artsy, but are they actually making it easy for you to, transfer your files?
Let's dig into the specifics, all right. What are some of the things WeTransfer is doing really well on their landing page?
Well, first off, I love how straightforward their headline is, send big files hassle-free.
Boom, right to the point, no jargon, no marketing fluff.
It's like a breath of fresh air in a world of overly complicated tech speak.
Exactly. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. They're simply stating their value proposition in a clear and concise way.
And it works. You instantly know what they're about.
And speaking of clarity, those benefit statements below the headline are equally effective.
Fast, flexible, secure. Each one accompanied by a simple icon that visually reinforces the message.
They're hitting those key pain points that everyone experiences when sending large files.
Speed, reliability, security, the things that keep you up at night.
And they're presenting them in a way that's easy to digest and
It's
understand.
like they're saying, hey, we get it. You're busy. You don't have time to wade through paragraphs of text. Just tell me what I need to know.
And they do just that, and they do it well.
I also really appreciate their approach to visual identity.
It's distinctive, it's memorable. It's like a fashion magazine had a baby with a file transfer
That's a
service.
perfect analogy.
Yeah,
It's modern. It's bold.
yeah.
It's definitely not your grandpa's file sharing platform.
And it's consistent across their entire landing page. The colors, the typography, the imagery, it all works together to create a cohesive brand experience.
It's clear they've put a lot of thought into their visual identity, and it shows.
And then there's the conversion focused above the fold aspect you mentioned.
Absolutely. As soon as you land on the page, bam, you're hit with that transfer now button.
No scrolling, no hunting around. It's right there front and center.
They're making it crystal clear what they want you to do.
Which is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to make people work too hard to figure out how to use your service.
Especially when it comes to something as time sensitive as file sharing.
People are often in a hurry. They need to get those files sent ASAP.
And WeTransfer makes it easy for them to do just that.
So far, so good, right? But no landing page is perfect, folks. There are always areas for improvement.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty, shall we? Where could WeTransfer step up their game?
Well, for starters, that Transfer Now button, while prominent, could use a little more oomph, you know?
It's a bit bland, a bit generic. It doesn't really capture the energy and personality of their brand.
Yeah, it's like they spent all this time crafting this beautiful visual identity, then they just slapped on a boring old button.
It's like showing up to a gala in a stunning gown and then wearing flip-flops.
The assessment suggests some alternatives like send it fast or drop and done.
I love those. They're more playful,
Yeah.
more action-oriented. They convey a sense of urgency and ease.
Which is exactly what you want when you're dealing with file sharing.
And then there's the elephant in the room, the pricing.
Or should I say the lack thereof.
They talk about pro features and the ability to scale, but they never actually tell you how much it costs.
It's like they're trying to seduce you with all these fancy features, but they're afraid to show you the price tag.
Which is super frustrating.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, this all sounds great, but how much is this going to set me back?
Exactly. Transparency is key, especially when it comes to pricing.
People want to know what they're getting into before they commit to anything.
And hiding the pricing just makes it seem like you're trying to pull a fast one.
Like you're afraid people will run for the hills if they see the actual cost.
Which might be the case, but that's a risk you have to take.
And speaking of transparency, their security claims could use a little more substance.
They say they offer unmatched security, which is a bold statement.
But they don't really back it up with any specifics.
Like, what kind of encryption do they use? Where do they store their data? What are their data retention policies?
These are all important questions that people, especially businesses, need answers to.
It's not enough to just say you're secure. You have to prove it.
And that WeTransfer is built to scale with you section, it feels a bit like filler, you know?
It's visually appealing, but it doesn't really say anything.
It's like they're trying to appeal to businesses, but they're not giving them any concrete reasons to choose WeTransfer over their competitors.
They could be showcasing case studies, highlighting how other businesses have successfully used their platform.
Or providing detailed information about their enterprise-level features.
Instead, it's just a bunch of vague statements and icons.
And finally, those testimonials, they're buried way down at the bottom of the page.
Like an afterthought.
Social proof is so important, especially for a service like this. People want to see that other people are using and loving your product.
They need to move those testimonials higher up the page, maybe even above the fold.
And they could definitely use more of them.
1 or 2 testimonials just doesn't cut it.
Especially when they have millions of users they could be showcasing.
So they've got some work to do, but it's not all doom and gloom.
Let's talk about some potential fixes. What can WeTransfer do to improve their landing page and really make it sing?
Well, as we've already discussed, that call to action needs a makeover.
Something more punchy, more on-brand, something that really grabs your attention and makes you want to click.
They also need to be upfront about their pricing. No more hiding the price tag.
Give people the information they need to make an informed decision.
And they need to flesh out their security claims, provide specific details about their protocols and policies.
Show people that you're serious about protecting their data.
That scale with you section needs a revamp too.
Less fluff, more substance.
Showcase those enterprise-level features, highlight the benefits of using WeTransfer for businesses.
And those testimonials bring them front and center. Let those happy customers do the talking for you.
And consider adding some form of audience segmentation, maybe a simple toggle or tabs that allow users to self-identify as creators, teams, or enterprise.
That way you can tailor the messaging and content to their specific needs.
So overall, they have a solid foundation, but there's definitely room for improvement.
So let's get down to brass tacks. What's the final verdict on WeTransfer's landing page?
Our SASE design assessment gives them a respectable 83 out of 100.
Not bad, not bad.
But there's always room for growth, right?
Absolutely, and that brings us to our favorite part, the final roast.
The assessment describes WeTransfer's landing page as a beautifully dressed courier who arrives at your doorstep, flashes a winning smile, but then simply stands there expectantly until you have to awkwardly ask, "So are you actually delivering anything for me?"
Oh, that's brutal, but so accurate.
They've got the looks, the charm, but they're not quite sealing the deal.
They need to step up their conversion game. Make it clear what they want users to do and why they should do it.
So to sum it all up, WeTransfer, you've got the brand swagger, you've got the loyal following, but you're letting those minor details hold you back.
Own it. Show off your scale. Flaunt the trust you've built. For the love of all that is digital, stop hiding your pricing.
All right, folks, there you have it, our deep dive into the WeTransfer landing page.
Hopefully this has given you some valuable insights that you can apply to your own online endeavors.
Remember, it's not just about looking good. It's about driving conversions, making it easy for people to take action.
And sometimes you need a little bit of tough love, a little bit of roast to make those improvements happen.
So the next time you're crafting your own landing page, whether it's for your business, your personal brand, or even just a side project, keep these key takeaways in mind.
Clarity, transparency, a strong call to action, and social proof. Those are the ingredients for landing page success.
And don't be afraid to inject a little personality, a little humor into the mix.
Because at the end of the day, people want to do business with brands that they connect with.
Brands that are authentic, relatable, and, yes, even a little bit roast-worthy.
Until next time, happy unbouncing.
And may your calls to action be ever compelling.
And your conversion rates sky high.
See you on the flip side, folks.